is Mike with D-Beat Daily. Today I'm here with Śmierć, who are from Stockholm, Sweden. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just came from practice. So, yeah, good energy.
Good. Yeah, and kind of funny because we already did this, and I'm an idiot, and I didn't press record last time, so here we are again. And can you tell everyone your names and what you play in the band?
Yeah, I'm Krisse, and I play guitar.
I'm Ninka, and I sing, do vocals.
I'm Jocke. I play bass.
All right. And how would you all describe the musical style of the band?
Would you know?
I don't really know. It's like the bass is like classic Swedish D-beat, I think, and then we take lots of different influences and try to really make our own thing out of it. Kind of melodic vocals and lots of screaming and lots of other stuff like long intros and some weird shit.
It kind of developed from there. I mean, we all have our DNA in the Swedish D-beat, I'd say. And then as we've been playing for so many years in so many different bands and playing together with a lot of other bands, obviously we're influenced by that. And also, I think with having all these years, in our backpacks, I think that you just stop caring in a bit of what other people will say. So you just, you play whatever the fuck you want. So right. I guess that's kind of it.
Okay. And what age did you all get interested in kind of starting to play music, and what did you listen to kind of growing up?
I think I was in my first band when I was like 14. And so, yeah, and I've been playing in bands ever since. I'm 47 now, so quite many years. And I listened to lots of like 77 punk when I was like 14. So pretty much all like Swedish 77 style punk bands and the basic British ones, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, I've always, I come from a very musical family. There's always been music around when I grew up. And, I tried everything that I could get my hands on. I even played the clarinet. So I was, just making all these sounds was just good fun. And as growing up in the 80s, obviously I was going to be a metalhead. So all the heavy metal stuff is really, in my core. And then discovering punk in my teens, and I think for to some extent, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to play that kind of music because I couldn't see any women anywhere, so I couldn't find people to relate to really. The punks that I saw, they were all about their clothes, and I wanted to do stuff like Discharge did it. So playing punk this way came later for me, like when I was in my 20s, I think. Yeah, 19, 20 years, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I was in my first band when I was like 12 or something. And we tried to play metal, but, well, I don't think we did, maybe. But yeah, I was listening to old heavy metal at the time, but then I discovered Krisse and then I was destroyed.
Right. Yeah, I remember the very first band I ever played in, I played guitar and I didn't even really know how to tune my guitar. So everything just sounded like shit whenever we played. So it was kind of funny. And I know the lyrics of the music, they're in Polish, Swedish, and English. How did that kind of come about?
Well, the Polish, it's me, because I've always been super interested in the Polish punk scene. So during the 90s, I spent a lot of time in Poland just discovering the scene and having this comparison all the time with, the stuff that I brought to the country, like the British punk and the Swedish D-beat, and I just thought that it was so interesting how they played and how they expressed themselves in that context. So when I was asked to join this band as a singer, I just thought to myself, what do I need to get that energy and to get that feeling of wanting to dig deeper into punk? I just thought that, well, if I could sing in Polish and try to express myself in that language, I'm on. And so we started Śmierć, which means death. And I think that the band was supposed to be called Döden in Swedish, but when I came along, it made sense to call it Śmierć. So that's how I started to write the lyrics. And then on this stage now, where we're coming closer to the third album, I think that there's more layers that we want to express. So we're chucking in some Swedish and English in there. English, not because it's my native tongue or anything, it's just that it's such an important language for the scene. Like that's a lot of us, we communicate through the broken English that we try to learn along the way. So that's a language that we can also use in this context.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and the last time we had spoke, I was kind of asking where the band name came from, and kind of why you decided to use the name Death, basically in English. Where did that kind of come about?
I don't really remember, actually. I don't know. I think it was my idea, and I was just surprised that it was a Swedish band called that. It's quite a serious name, I think, but I can't recall any Swedish band called Döden. And so I thought, that's a good name. Why not? But then, of course, singing Polish, the name should be in Polish. And that sounded cool as well. So,
and I also think that the word death is not used as much in this kind of punky context. I find it more of a metal, death metal, that whole scene. So actually, I think that our approach to the word is softer than it sounds. So it's more a matter of, a celebration of life more than the gloomy version of death.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And what do the lyrics kind of tend to be about with the band?
I'd say that some of the old stuff is borrowed from old iconic punk bands. Did we lose the connection now? No? No, it's okay. Oh, great. So for the first album, I borrowed quite a lot from old Polish bands, and I just, cut out pieces from old lyrics and glue them together to form my music. And that was like as an honor of the Polish punk scene. I wanted to celebrate them like that, and also to make the words mine and to make them, express them through me. And then I wrote my own lyrics, and I've noticed that I tend to write a lot about the everyday life and the everyday chores of really relationships, and not just relationships in a friendly or a sexual context, but also the relationships between the power and the person below. And it's almost always, in this very close to the kitchen kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot about, the power structures of society, and also especially when it comes to children and refugees. So I've noticed that I've evolved a lot around that.
Right, definitely. And you all are getting ready to tour the West Coast in the U.S. in October of this year. What is it kind of like preparing to tour in another country that's quite a bit further away?
Logistics.
Yeah, it's that we have to get everything in order and to like ship the instruments, so it's super expensive. So we have already got instruments waiting for us, and getting merch over there and shit. It's
yeah,
it's a bit of a plan, lots of planning right now. Because we leave in like 1 month, so from when we're recording this. So right now we're rehearsing and planning how to get shit over there in order.
And also, when we're doing that, you do a lot of that, and you noticed how super helpful people are.
Yeah.
I mean, all the help that we get all the time, and it's really like the DIY punk mentality that it's so clear to me now what we've got. It's such a treasure to have that. So I can't wait to meet everyone and hang out and just,
Right.
Yeah, because last time I toured the US was 15 years ago, I think. So my contacts but they were very limited. So I made lots of new ones instead, and it's great.
Right. Yeah, I think that's kind of like one of the positive things about like having social media around now, as opposed to trying to do stuff in the earlier 2000s or the 90s. There's a lot more availability to like connect with people that you might have otherwise not been able to, speak to before that. So that's always nice.
That's 100% true. That reminds me, when I got in contact with Polish bands, I found the addresses on the tapes. So I just wrote postcards to a lot of people like, "Hi, I want to know more about your music. Will you have me?" And then waited another month for them to get back. "Yes, you can come." And then, trying to figure out the trains or whatever, the meeting points. But we did it. But now with social media, it's like excellent.
You got a lot more mail.
Yes.
Back in those days, it was nice.
Yeah. Now the only kind of mail we usually get is something that we ordered online or the bills, unfortunately. So, and how do you all plan on spending your one day off during the tour?
We have quite a far travel letter. We have the one show in Chico, and the next one is in San Diego. So we have quite a long travel, but we're going to go and visit an old friend and stay in his house. That is like halfway.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be super nice.
Yeah, definitely. And I would definitely say that you all have like a creative approach to this style of music, as you were kind of talking about earlier, not just sticking with the typical things that a lot of bands in the D-beat realm kind of do. It does have, melodic parts and also has a gritty aspect to it. What is the writing process like?
Usually I come up with the basics of a song, like basic riffs and maybe an idea of order of the riffs, but usually not more than that. I have little ideas of the vocals or the drums or stuff like that. That's not my thing. So then we just practice and try to make something out of it and see if it works or not. And usually it works pretty good, but sometimes it's like, yeah, it's good, but that second riff, it sucks. Shut that.
Right. Definitely understandable. And you all have 3 releases right now. And I believe last time we spoke, you said that you record right next to your practice space with someone from Wolf Brigade. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was the last recording we did, was just a digital 3-song EP. So we recorded Jocke, the guitarist from Wolf Brigade.
Okay. And what is the recording process like on the current one, and how has it kind of been working with somebody in a band that has influenced a lot of bands that are in this kind of realm of music?
we recorded the first 2 albums with Kenko from Meanwhile and No Security. So he's good at this shit too.
Right.
And so yeah, I don't know. It's basic, just like normal recording situation. We try to make as much live as possible, as many tracks at once.
Right.
And then retake some and add loads of guitars and shit.
The good thing with recording with somebody, well, first of all, we know them. We've hung out with them for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, which means that they're creating a safe space for us to be creative in.
Yeah.
And also that we share so many references. So there's not many words that needs to be said, you know, when we want to tweak something and we kind of know that this wasn't a good take. We know that Kenko or Jocke thinks that too.
Yeah.
So with that, it's
very easy. It's very, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's always really important when it comes to recording, because even if it is only a practice space away or whatever, it's still always nice to be as comfortable as you can recording, because I fucking hate recording.
Yeah, it's always a tense situation. So yeah, as relaxed as you can be is very nice.
Definitely.
So the next album we're going to record with another studio, which I recorded, I think 3 or 4 times before, which is it's a really good studio, and this guy is really awesome. So we're going to have booked lots of days, so we're going to have plenty of time to really make this the best one so far.
Right. Awesome. And what has been your most memorable show that you've played so far, and why would you say that is?
For me, I think it was the last one in a small DIY anti-fascist festival in Poland in the end of August. It was just amazing. We were in the middle of the forest, surrounded with crazy anti-fascist Poles, having a great party, and we played like around midnight, and it was just
intense.
amazing. Yeah,
it was intense.
It was really intense and really good atmosphere, and
yeah. Okay. And what does everyone in the band like to do outside of playing music?
I'm really into photography and videography, so I take lots of pictures and make videos a lot. Okay,
cool.
Well, I'm into arts and literature, so I like to do a lot of that, a lot of reading, a lot of exhibitions, and if I have time, that's what I do. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I do.
Oh, you do some crazy shit. You should.
Yeah, I do. So archery and
kung fu,
reggae. Yeah. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, you play.
Yeah.
You said you do like some fighting kind of stuff, like kung fu. You said.
Yeah, but not so much anymore.
You still got it in here.
So he's going to be the one keeping everybody safe on the road, I'm assuming then, right? And what can people kind of expect from seeing you all play live?
An experience, I hope. It's like, I don't think we sound like any other band, actually. We have quite our own sound, and we have a very, very intense singer with a very good connection to the audience. So,
I don't expect everyone to like it, because, as you said, we're doing something that I realize it's a bit different. And if you're into the, just one thing, then this might be a little bit too much for you. But as far as the live thing going, that's why I'm into this. I just love playing live, and I love to see everyone there, and just imagining that people have actually come just for to share this moment. That's like sacred to me. I'll do anything for that moment with the crowd. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Right.
I hope people will come out.
For sure. And what kind of goes through your head whenever you all are playing a show?
Right now, we have a new bass player and drummer from this year. We have already done quite a lot of shows together, but before and in other bands, I always used to stress out about if the other guys were playing correct or how I would balance up that to make it sound great. And now I don't have to, so that's really nice.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like relaxed and enjoying it, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a bummer whenever you have to hope that everybody else doesn't suck. So
but for me, it's the best thing that can happen is that I totally forget about myself and just using my body as a vehicle for the music. Sometimes you can, like the last show we had, I didn't even know how I moved because it was just so awesome to be there, and it was just the music flowing through. So that's the best of shows, when you don't think about, you don't have to think about it.
Absolutely.
Just go with that.
right. Definitely. And what are some bands that you haven't played with yet that you would like to play with in the future?
We're going to play with some of them now on this tour.
Right.
We're playing with them in Seattle and Portland, and Andy, the guitarist, has helped us to set up this tour. So it's going to be fantastic to play a couple of shows with those guys. And then we're going to play with Hope in Portland. I'm really looking forward to that. And Rock Woven in Eugene.
Yeah, and Silent Smell.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And Trauma and Saniac and lots of bands.
Yeah,
we're looking for.
Definitely. And what does the future kind of look like for the band?
We're going to record the new album in this other studio in beginning of February.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get back from the tour, we're just gonna make the rest of the songs for that.
And play a couple of shows.
Yeah. And a couple of shows.
Yeah.
But we have like half of the songs done for the album, so we're gonna have to make the rest of them. They're in my head for the moment.
Yeah.
I've like tried out quite a few of them, so it's not gonna take a very long time. And so and then for next year, hopefully some European festivals in the summer, and hopefully have the album out by the summer. Our Polish record label really wants to try to get it out as fast as possible.
Mm.
And I think the pressing plant queues are a bit shorter now than they were last time.
Oh, okay. And how is it kind of like working with a label that is located elsewhere?
Working really good. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it's any difference from, I don't know if I ever had a Swedish record label though.
Oh, okay.
We released a couple of albums on Profane Existence before, and Japanese labels and stuff. So I don't really know how it is to have them nearby.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess it probably has to do a lot with how many years the label has been running.
Yeah.
And this record label, they've been doing this for over 20 years. So they know what goes where and why, and they have their contacts, and it's like, it's just smooth. So and they didn't have to release us, but they chose to release us. And so that's like the basis of the relationship, and they're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Was there anything else that you all wanted to add? Like as far as anything coming up in the future? I know you got the tour in October. Do you know like what the dates are? Obviously, I'm probably not every single date of the time period.
We'll start on October 20th in Seattle, and then we have Portland, Eugene, and Chico. Then one day off, and then San Diego, Pomona, LA, and Oakland.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll definitely put all the dates up on the screen there and all that. Other than that, thanks for sitting down with me again, since I didn't record the first time.
Thank you for having us, and hope to see as many as possible on the tour.
Yeah,
for sure. Definitely. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.